Hi, this is Lily Augsburger, and this is my overview for Chapter 2 from Thomas Hardy's Tess of the D'Urbervilles. We are introduced to the Vale of Blackmore. Tess is first seen participating in the May Day parade and dance. Her father is seen riding home in the Peardrop's carriage and singing about his ancestry, seemingly drunk, much to Tess's embarrassment. The brothers Clare are passing by as the May Day dance begins. Despite his brother's protestations, Angel decides to join the women for a short time. He does not dance with Tess, which is made him after he leaves. This is my depiction of the Vale of Blackmore, and I have included a quote from page 6. Here, in the valley, the world seems to be constructed upon a smaller and more delicate scale. The fields are mere paddocks, so reduced that from this height their hedgerows appear a network of dark green threads overspreading the paler green of the grass. The atmosphere beneath is languorous, and is so tinged with azure that what artists call the middle distance partakes also of that hue, while the horizon beyond is of the deepest ultramarine. Arable lands are few and limited. With but slight exceptions, the prospect is a broad, rich mass of grass and trees, mantling minor hills and dales within the major, such as the Vale of Blackmore. Some themes that we're introduced to in Chapter 2, and that we also see throughout the novel, are the beauty of nature in the Vale of Blackmore, Tess's innocence, and innocence in general, Tess becoming embarrassed by her father's actions is one. The May Day parade and dance and the white dresses worn there, as well as the white flowers carried, as white symbolizes purity and innocence, and Tess's lingering childhood. On page 9, Hardy says that phases of her childhood lurked in her aspect still. As she walked along today, for all her bouncing, handsome womanliness, you could sometimes see her 12th year in her cheeks, or her 9th sparkle from her eyes, and even her 5th would flit over the curves of her mouth now and then. This is my drawing of Tess. She was a fine and handsome girl, not handsomer than the others, possibly, but her mobile, puny mouth and large, innocent eyes added eloquence to color and shape. She wore a red ribbon in her hair, and was the only one of the white company who could boast such an adornment. This is on page 8. Themes continued. There's a notion of fate throughout the novel. Angel and Tess could have danced, and this could have led to an earlier relationship. It implies that fate had them meet, but events didn't take this course, and their relationship is later doomed after the events at Trantridge, as Tess views herself as impure, which leads her in turn to tell Angel, which leads in turn to unhappy marriages. So this is a sort of a domino Rube Goldberg contraption effect. There's also the notion of family, as John D'Urberville's newly discovered heritage plays a major part in the novel. Indeed, it is D'Urberville. Tess's defense of him when he's accused of being drunk, so it's like a duty to family, which we later see when she feels so guilty about Prince's death. And then there's the brothers Clare, which play a major part in the novel, and especially after when they're trying to convince Angel, are you sure you really want to marry this girl? And are you sure you really want to be a farmer? There's also tradition with the May Day parade and dance, and it's also the tradition of rural communities which we see throughout the novel. This is a drawing of John D'Urberville riding home and singing about his ancestry. I've got a great family vault at Kingsbear and high knighted forefathers and lead coffins there. So he's so thrilled about his new ancestry, and later we'll see that he continues to be this, even calling himself Sir John, but this will only lead to unfortunate events. It is also, Hardy uses a lot of irony in this chapter. You can see, for one example, he describes Tess as having a mobile peony mouth. So I looked up what peonies stood for. Turns out they were viewed as symbols of wealth, good fortune, and happy marriages, and Tess really doesn't have any of these things throughout the novel. And then also Angel and Tess regretting not having danced with each other. It's not just one of them regretting it, both of them regret it. And Angel doesn't know this, but later he will. This is the brothers Clare. Among these onlookers were 3 young men of a superior class, carrying small knapsacks strapped to their shoulders, and stout sticks in their hands. Their general likeness to each other, and their consecutive ages, would almost have suggested that they might be, what in fact they were, brothers. It's on page 10. So the brothers Clare come over on the hill, and they see the women dancing in the fields, and Angel is so moved that he feels he has to go and dance with them. And then he meets Tess, and, well, plots are not moved, as he doesn't dance with her. There is foreshadowing, also, as the red ribbon in Tess's hair, as red symbolized violence, danger, and sin, which would be the rape, and then the contrast to her white dress and white flowers. White symbolized purity and innocence, that would be the maiden. And something will happen to Angel and Tess, because both of them regret not making having to dance with each other, particularly Angel, which is in the last quote of the last paragraphs of the chapter. So Angel is looking back at the scene. This white shape stood apart by the hedge. From her position, he knew it to be the pretty maiden with whom he had not danced. Trifling as the matter was, he yet instinctively felt that she was hurt by his oversight. He wished that he had asked her. He wished that he had inquired her name. She was so modest, so expressive. She had looked so soft in her thin white gown that he felt he had acted stupidly. However, it could not be helped, and turning, and bending himself to a rapid walk, he dismissed the subject from his mind. That's on page 12. So, throughout the chapter, we've seen Hardy introduce many themes, as well as he sets the foundations, really, for his story by introducing the setting and the main characters. So, yeah, we see all these things throughout the novel, and this is my overview of Chapter 2.